Morning, YouTube, friends and family. Welcome to Tuesday. I got about a half a day at home today, and then I'm going to a meeting of some of my energy auditor buddies. We have a twice a year meeting that we go to talk about issues that we have, to do miniature trainings, and to strategize on how we can do our job better in this market. It's all right. Can't be sunny all the time, right? Thanks for coming with me on my day. I'll see you in a few. Oh boy. You know, I wish I could just have the best of both worlds. I'm really wanting to do more consulting work because of the flexibility, the independence, the ability to just work with one person, that's me. But when it comes down to the reporting end of things, sitting here on my yoga ball for hours at a time, kind of numbs my mind a little bit and makes me wish I was doing more laboring and being out in the field. I gotta get to work here. You know, I used to eat out lunches a lot when I was working in the field or for a lunch break. But you know what? It adds up. $10 to $15 a lunch times 5 days a week is like $75 a week that I save by making my own lunch. I really am trying to save some money right now, being on the single income. Okay, I am leaving just in time to make it to my meeting in Auburn, Maine. There are these twin cities in Maine called Lewiston and Auburn, and they're separated by the Androscoggin River. In Maine, we call it LA. California, you have your LA, we have ours too. On the road. Thanks for coming, and let's take a ride. Oh, 10 minutes late. I don't know, maybe 15 minutes late.
Any ratings, I got to do at least one field QA, and you have really a month and a half or so to do it.
Curry, are you gonna have any ratings by the end of the year?
I don't believe so. Yeah, I mean, I've been obviously doing the process, but not like following through and getting the ratings.
Right. And you will have activity during this.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, that's what I expected, but still. Yeah,
What you call it.
Yeah, well,
She's the one that told me you need to get your finger out of your ass and figure out what you're gonna do.
yeah, well.
Man, I heard that same thing.
Well,
I don't care what you do, just make sure you're making money.
Well, I do so many different things. I'm raising. Now I
We're
do
your
home
family.
inspections.
Right.
And I've seen them.
I don't care how it happens.
Exactly. That's the kind of it.
Keep calling me because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
It's like that's the thing. I got it.
So is what you guys are sort of like nibbling around the edge of, like just telling them all to take a hike and coming up with our own certification and our own standards
Well,
and
that is an option, that's not my primary option, but
But
I'm
I-
just saying, it may be the cost of us maintaining, particularly now where we're not 12 or even 9, we're, how many? 6? So that's gonna mean, we're talking, we can look at the numbers, but we're talking at least $1,000 a person just to buy in.
right. Let's see. That was a noon to 4 meeting. That was 4 hours. I think what I would like to do on my ride home is a little question and answer. What do you say? Geekin' Dad asks about my raised bed gardens. How much do I grow? How much do I provide for myself? Is it my goal to be totally sustainable and self-sufficient? I would love to be totally sustainable and self-sufficient with my gardens. However, we don't grow enough, to sustain all of our vegetable needs over the course of a year. So right now I have 7 raised beds. My plan is to make 5 more raised beds so that I can grow a lot more than I do right now. But I would say from roughly July through October, in a normal year when I haven't been hiking 500 miles in the Rocky Mountains during the summer, we can pretty much provide all of the vegetables that we need for that period, and then have some crops that we store or can or preserve for later use. Green beans and peas and tomatoes and tomatillos and peppers and potatoes and carrots and kale and lettuce and Asian greens, onions, garlic, broccoli. We also like to grow lots of tomatoes to make our own tomato sauce. I like to grow a lot of tomatillos so I can make my own salsa. And it's completely organic. We don't use any chemical pesticides or fertilizers or any of that crap. Good question, Geekin' Dad. From AKA Ninja Assassin. What is my job? And what was my first job? That's a great question, man. My job right now is small business owner. Basically, I own a company called Sustainable Structures, and at Sustainable Structures, I do mainly energy efficiency consulting work. So I'm an energy auditor. As you've seen from some of my vlogs, I have a specialized set of diagnostic equipment to go in and do home evaluations to determine how I can make houses more safe, comfortable, and efficient. That's sort of what I do now. The first job that I ever had that was not like a work-study job with college was at a sandwich joint called Eat a Pita. And it was just like a Subway sandwich shop, but with pita bread instead. And I lasted there about 5 weeks. I think that job was the job that taught me that I was not going to be very good at customer service jobs. Kathy Miller asks, what is my favorite source for royalty-free music? 85% of the music I use comes from SoundCloud.com, www.soundcloud.com. It's mostly music that is based on samples of other music, and it's not all royalty free, but a lot of it is. You got to be really careful about copyright infringement using music in vlogs. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was using copyright music without knowing it because it was just in the background on my car radio as I was doing video out of the window. So I'm very, very conscious now of music playing in the background and what I can and can't use. So Jeffrey Bickford asks, how do I intend to guide my children through college, career, and life? That's a loaded question, man. I will be supportive for them to follow their dreams. I think in the past, a lot of people have, a lot of parents have guided or pushed or funneled their kids into certain paths, careers, life choices. I want to present my kids with options in life, show them different things in life, and see what they're most interested in. Because, what I've learned in my life is that you have to be true to yourself. If you are in the workplace, it's gonna be so much more rewarding to enjoy your job, even if you make less money. And more importantly, you gotta give your kids the confidence to make their own decisions. One of the things that I learned on the Colorado Trail this past summer was how overcoming challenging situations help a person grow their own self-reliance and self-confidence. I saw that with my kids this summer. They were heavily challenged with the situation. They rose to that challenge. They overcame that challenge. And as a result, they are more self-reliant and self-confident than they have ever been in their lives. Several people have asked me what variety of kiwi is growing on the vine that I've been harvesting over the past, couple weeks, or 3 weeks actually. And it is called the hardy kiwi, meaning that it can withstand colder temperatures, colder climates, basically. And some of you might be asking, why isn't this guy shaving? Although you're just too nice to ask it, I'm sure, in the comments. Well, I've decided to let it grow. It's time for the beard, as soon as it starts to get a couple frosty nights, it's an indication to me that it's time to grow the beard out. A little extra insulation never hurts in the winter, right? I think that's all the time I'm going to devote to question and answer right now, but I love reading your comments, so definitely continue to let me know what you think of this crazy experiment we call Maine vlog. Not gonna help tonight? Nope. Okay. Slowing down with a subscriber map, which gives me a little chance to breathe. I am excited to learn about your city and country. Today we have 2 editions, so not a big edition day, but still I'm excited to do them because they're in great places. Thanks for coming with me on my day, and I'll see you in the morning.